But let's move to what's going to happen in the future, President Trump. What are we doing and what's the Republican Party doing to make sure we don't get an election stolen in 22 and 24?
Well, it's going to be harder, but they're not tough enough yet. And we're going to see, and a lot of things are coming out, and I think a lot of very positive things are coming out. Unfortunately, I'm the one that has to bring them out. It should be a lot of others. But we have some great warriors, Jim Jordan, the whole group, Jim Banks. We have some very good people that, fight very, very hard. Unfortunately, a bad decision was made. This committee was a bad decision not to have representation on that committee. That was a very, very foolish decision.
Right.
Because, they try and pretend like they're legit. And only when you get into the inner workings, you say, what kind of a thing is this? It's just a one-sided witch hunt.
Right.
But I think the bigger you win by, I think I won by a lot last time. I was told if I got 63 million votes, I'd win.
There's Donald Trump on Wayne Allyn Root's show talking again about the January 6th hearings. I don't think that's what he was asking him about, though. It's almost like it's constantly on his mind because they're exposing him for what he did that day. Either way it goes, but Kevin McCarthy also came up in those conversations talking about that committee and what was put on it. And how it was foolish for him not to get Republicans on there. Crazy because Kevin McCarthy did what he did in support of Donald Trump, but that always comes back to bite him in the ass. Let's keep it real. So don't forget, Democrats did offer Republicans seats on the committee. They were outside of Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. There was actually 5 positions that was put out there. Jim Jordan and Jim Banks were the 2 that were rejected by Nancy Pelosi because the 2 of them are potentially compromised or part of the problem in the first place. So for them to be on that committee, we know what it would look like. But because of that decision, Kevin McCarthy made the decision that now is getting trouble from Donald Trump. Remember this?
Pelosi has created a sham process. Unless Speaker Pelosi reverses course and seats all 5 Republicans, we will not participate. But we think it's too important that those 2 questions, why were we ill prepared? Why did they know on December 14th? Why would they jeopardize the lives of the Capitol Police? We will run our own investigation.
That was all bluster and pushback to make sure that they would discredit the committee that was getting put together. Still waiting for their other panel that they're going to go to investigate what happened on January 6th. I get the feeling they're not going to do that. But back to Donald Trump, because he wasn't done with Kevin McCarthy. He's mad about him not putting people on the committee for his sake. And also, when asked about whether or not McCarthy will potentially be Speaker of the House if Republicans do win in the fall, Donald Trump wasn't too heavy on that either. Let's watch.
Last question for you. I was the guy who first brought up the idea of you running for Speaker of the House if we win in November. And you like the idea, but you never acted on it. And you've now endorsed McCarthy for Speaker of the House. Why don't you consider running?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I endorsed him in his race, but I haven't endorsed anybody for Speaker.
Okay. So why not consider, if we win big, if it's a landslide, which I'm confident it will be, despite the rigging, they can't beat us this time, it's just too overwhelming. We win big, only you, I believe, could carry out the things that would save the middle class between now and 2024.
Oh no, Dan, oh no. Now pulling back from potentially backing him for Speaker, now it's a whole separate problem. Again, this is the same Kevin McCarthy that went and kissed the ring after he said those things about Donald Trump on January 6th.
I love how he has to throw in the part in the middle or in the beginning of that clip where he goes, okay, remember, I'm the person, Donald Trump, who suggested this wonderful idea to you, Overlord, sir. It's so amazing how much they lick Trump's boots, even virtually. But after that, you have, the situation with how Trump just has this leadership role and has this grip over what the Republican Party is going for. Do we think he'd actually run for Speaker? No, I think he's way too lazy to do that. And I think if he would do that, he would go for the top again and try to run against Biden in 2024 because we know Trump holds grudges. That is the thing with this guy. That's the one thing you need to know about this guy. He by the way, was definitely gesticulating a lot and moving his hands during that entire process.
like that.
You know, during that call, you could just like, oh, he was doing all the hits, doing all the waving, all of the handshaking, all that stuff. But he holds grudges. That's the whole point. So he's gonna go after McCarthy a lot more like intensely, I think, after this too.
Holds grudges and also shifts the blame, because as this is all getting put on his head for what he did on January 6th, what does he resort to is, I can't believe Kevin McCarthy didn't get Republicans on there. I need more people to defend me. It's always the same talking points. Who has he defended and what has he done as far as helping other folks out and getting positions of power and all that stuff? Nothing. It only has to do with supporting him. And if people aren't doing that, it's over for you. Kevin McCarthy suddenly no longer Speaker of the House choice. And actually, it's his fault that this is happening with the January 6th committee. That's his problem.